What's up, guys? I'm Christian Paul, and you're watching The Bubble.
Oh, 'cause I need somebody to love me like nobody loved me. I need somebody to love. I know it's coming, just tell me that you'll be there when it does. When it does. Oh, don't have to be strong just to belong next to me. Whatever happens, you know you go wherever I go. It doesn't matter, I'll never leave you in the dark. Tell me I'm wrong, but you belong next to me. Whatever happens, you know I got your back, and you know 'cause I'm strong enough.
Strong was a song that I wrote with a great friend of mine and one of my favorite collaborators, Jamie Hartman, actually here in LA. And Strong was written about a week after I got this phone call from my mom where she ended up breaking the news to me that my stepdad was diagnosed with cancer. Wow. And so as she was relaying to me everything that the doctors were saying about his prognosis, and before I go any further, I do want to say my stepdad is actually in remission now, praise God. But yeah, she was telling me everything that the doctors were saying. I could tell that she was holding back emotion for the sake of being strong for me and my family. And in that moment, I told her that she had been strong for me my entire life. And now it was my turn to be strong for her. And if there was no one else she felt like she could break down in front of, she could break down in front of me. And that really birthed the chorus of Strong, which is, 'cause I'm strong enough for the both of us. And in a broader sense, like Strong is really a song about what it means to carry someone's burdens out of love, no matter how heavy that weight may be.
Staring at your photograph, wishing I could get you back, but it's too late. I can't see this is coming. It's something now I love it. Anyone who ever loved somebody knows how it feels. When love don't love you.
For as long as I can remember, I knew I wanted to work in the music industry in some shape or form, whether as a musician, songwriter, or artist. And some of my earliest memories are of me sitting in my dad's lap and him just introducing me to hundreds upon hundreds of songs from old soul artists such as Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Curtis Mayfield, Prince. And I really fell in love with not just soul music, but music as a whole, because he also showed me artists like Weezer and Pearl Jam. So I really grew to appreciate all types of music at that point. Now I must have been like 5 or 6. And then as I started getting older, so around 13, 14, I started diving into finding my own influences. And I discovered neo soul music, and it really changed the way I approached writing and going about my artistry, really. And so I take a lot of inspiration from people like Maxwell, D'Angelo, Music Soul Child, Lauryn Hill, and just really the neo soul movement. So yeah, I mean, at 12 I started singing, but prior to that I'd played instruments, so I was gifted a drum set at 4, and then gradually just started playing other instruments, so drums, then piano, guitar, bass, ukulele, and then my parents sat me down and had a conversation with me, and they were like, you're an incredibly gifted musician, but if you're a musician alone, then you're gonna have to rely on a band to perform, which isn't necessarily true, but I took that to heart, and I actually went out to spend a week with my uncle, who's a songwriter in Atlanta, and he really just spent the week affirming my gift and pulling the best out of me, and he was like the first person I ever sang in front of. So we recorded a cover out there of Keen, Somewhere Only We Know, and that was like the first time I'd ever recorded anything. But from that point on, I'm originally from Alabama, so from that point on, I started doing like festivals, just small festivals in Alabama, and singing competitions, and posting some stuff online. And you know, it didn't get a whole lot of traction, but it did open the door for me to go down and pursue some different opportunities. One that had me moving to Orlando, and then from Orlando I moved to Los Angeles for the same opportunity. And so yeah, I mean that's kind of a condensed version of part of my story. I love the songwriting process. I love making something out of nothing, you know?
That's dope.
Yeah, and trying to be as innovative and creative as possible in doing so. So I mean, like my manager, I didn't mention this, but his name is Evan Rogers, and for those of you who don't know who Evan is, and I'm also co-managed by a guy named Carl Sturken. And so for years they had a songwriting / production duo called Sturken and Rogers, SRP. But I mean, they're responsible for so many smashes throughout the years, and they were with Rihanna for like her first 7 albums. But with them being so close to the project, and you know, me literally being managed by them, I feel like I'm in songwriting college. And just like being able to write songs in the same room with them and hear their feedback and their constructive criticism and wisdom, like just being able to take all of that in has been incredible. And I feel like I've grown as a songwriter more than I ever have in this past 1.5 years alone that I've been working with them. Social platforms at This Is Christian Paul. Actually, all social platforms excluding Twitter. I had to shorten it down because there's too many characters. And on Twitter, you can find me at This Is C Paul. Yo, my name is Christian Paul, and you've just been buzzed.